All right. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Welcome. First time here. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. So Monday, November 1st, new month, new opportunities, fresh slate. Uh, you know, good feeling. Good. It's good. It's good to have this fresh slate, November 1st. Nice little morning move this morning on the market. So feeling good. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend, good Halloween. I did the adult thing and sat out front of my house, and with some friends and just sort of gave out candy. It was nice, relaxing. I'm sort of at that point where I don't really go out for Halloween anymore. I don't know what you guys do. Hopefully everyone had a good Halloween, whether it was with family, with your kids, or going out partying. Hopefully everyone's here safe. If you went out partying last night and you feel a little hungover, may not be a bad idea to let today ride. If you're not feeling 100%, I never really get hungover because I don't drink much, but I definitely wouldn't trade in that type of mindset. So make sure you guys are locked in today. Looks like a pretty nice morning. Tesla up big, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, all our usual tech suspects. A really nice Facebook this morning as well, looking really good. Recess. I'm not a big partier, not a big drinker. Very introverted. Gave out candy and option strategies. Very nice, JJ. Very nice. Some option strategies to the neighbors. So 8:02. We'll go ahead and get started here in just a second. Some coffee. Definitely got my coffee next to me. So real quick, just to sort of recap what's going on here. We had the Nikkei, which is the Japanese market, up 610 points yesterday. So big move there for the Japanese market. 610 points. Yes, very cold in Florida today. Not very cold, but a little chilly this morning in Naples. Let me see. What is it outside? It is 60 degrees outside here in Florida this morning, so it's very beautiful. I'm probably going to go stand outside for a little bit after the stream just to enjoy. It's not often that you get some nice, beautiful 60-degree weather in Florida. It's quite a beautiful morning when that happens. It definitely makes you want to go sit outside for a little bit, drink coffee. So nice move on the Japanese market last night, and we're getting a little bit of a push higher ourselves on all of our futures, all of our indices, Nasdaq, S&P, Dow, guys. So nice little morning here. If you saw my video yesterday, I'm sure some of you may have not, but I am looking for a lot more upside on the Nasdaq here, guys, into end of the year. I think the Nasdaq looks great. I'm definitely slightly bullish. I might be wrong, but either way, we're gonna protect our capital through end of year and look for that upside. Yeah, man, don't remind me of Miami right now. If I was in like Brickell on like a high rise balcony right now, 60 degrees, that'd be beautiful. That's where I want to be right now. 26 in North Dakota, damn. All right, so looks like everyone's having a chilly morning. Let's go ahead and get started here. Futures, as always, another week of earnings, guys. Some big earnings this week as well, so we'll look at that calendar. Tesla, perfect trend. I mean, Tesla has been on a ridiculous trend for the last week. If you look at the 30-minute, the hour, it's just a beautiful uptrend that has not broken one time. So Tesla looks fantastic, and it, again, is up huge here in the morning. Nvidia, very similar trend on Nvidia. I'll show you both Tesla and Nvidia, and they both look very, very nice. Upstart. I think this week is Upstart's week. I think it's now or never. I think Upstart needs to make a move this week. It's really been consolidating at this key level for about a week already. So I don't know if I can see it consolidating for a whole nother week. I think it's going to want to move in either direction this week. So I'm going to show you guys Upstart. Definitely one to watch. Facebook. Nice bounce back this morning on Facebook. Nice little move higher in the pre-market. I'm in Facebook Decembers. They're already up 30%. I'm definitely bullish here on Facebook. I might be a little bit early, and maybe I'll even look for January's or even February's. But I definitely think Facebook can recover from where it is. So I want to keep an eye on Facebook this week for sure. That's one of my big opportunities, in my opinion. Shopify $1,500 level, key level for Shopify. I don't know how many of you guys watch Shop or trade Shop. I know it's very large, very big spreads. So it might be difficult to trade for some, but Shop does look good if it can break over 15. Yeah, when is Upstart's earnings? Now that you say that, I just want to make sure I know that. I'll look at it in a second, but Upstart's earnings are on the 9th. So not this week, so next week. So maybe we get the earnings run up. That's a potential opportunity. But anyways, so Shopify, Lucid this morning, guys. Lucid over the weekend did their first deliveries. I think Lucid, when I last checked, we'll see. Let me check again. When I last checked, it was up. It's up slightly this pre-market. It's definitely one to watch. I know some of you have been trading Lucid. Some people in my chat have been making some very good money off Lucid. So let's keep an eye on Lucid again today. The high of the previous candle here, we'll look at it in a second. I'm just looking at it myself, is around 41. So we'll have to look at that 41 level. We'll look at it today. And then Twilio. Twilio, big fall on earnings and definitely some upside opportunity in my opinion. We'll have to be patient, see when this thing starts to turn around. But Twilio, very nice. I was going to add some other big dips. Maybe we'll talk about it later. Like you guys are saying in the chat, PayPal, Twilio, Facebook are all big opportunities, in my opinion, off some really nasty dips. I just don't love PayPal right now. PayPal has proven to be a pretty crappy stock lately, and it just really has trouble bouncing back. So I've been putting PayPal under the rug a little bit because I don't think it's quite ready yet. But we can look at PayPal today as well. So that's the calendar I have, guys. Yeah, Visa, MasterCard, also some big drops off earnings. Visa in particular. So if you guys want, let me go ahead and pull up the Google Docs real quick, because there's definitely a lot more than what I have here on the stream, guys, to watch today. I just have a certain amount of time, so I have to be selective to some extent. Let me go ahead and fill out this Google Docs here and get you guys here, the members. Who? I don't know who did this, but someone just changed the whole entire thing here to just the letter T. I mean, I try to trust you guys. I mean, it's a fully editable thing, but you know what? At this point, I guess it's just gonna say T. I'll rewrite that another time. But if you guys want to put your tickers in the Google Docs, I'm gonna post the link in just a second. All right, here we go. So, members, here's the link. If you guys are a member of the channel, you can go ahead and post your link or post your ticker that you want to look at in today's stream there in the pinned message that I just put in the live chat here on YouTube. So make sure to go in there, and you're only going to see it if you're a member of the channel. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Let's go ahead and start with let's go ahead and start with the earnings calendar real quick. Let's go ahead and start with that, and then we'll get into the futures. So earnings calendar. That is what we're going to start on here. So here's the earnings calendar for us to look at. There it is right there. All right. So earnings calendar. Whoops, that's way too big. All right, here we go. So we got Chegg. Some people watch Chegg, I think. I don't really know of any. I don't really watch any of these this morning. Nothing really. Avis Budget Group, that's interesting. Car. You guys know Car has been on a really big run. And Hertz is starting to get some traction again, too. So let's see what Avis Budget has to report today. That should be interesting. Tomorrow we have Pfizer in the morning. That could be, interesting for biotechs. We have BP, it's oil. Ferrari. I don't trade Ferrari, but interesting to see what Ferrari has to say. Activision, big. I know Activision's been on a nice move lately, and it's starting to recover. So let's watch Activision. Zillow, that should be interesting for housing market. T-Mobile for the phone carriers. So Verizon, T-Mobile. Who else is big in there? I know T-Mobile's now Sprint, Verizon, AT&T maybe. So CVS, nothing too big. This day's pretty interesting. It's Wednesday and Thursday are pretty interesting. Roku, Qualcomm, Skills, Fastly, Etsy, those are some big ones. Moderna Thursday, After Hours, Square, Pinterest, Uber, Airbnb, Peloton. Those are all pretty interesting. These are like some really mid-cap but pretty exciting tech plays. Square, Pinterest, Uber, Airbnb, Peloton. I like that. That's pretty interesting. That'll definitely be fun to watch. And Friday, DraftKings, Coinbase. That'll be interesting as well. So definitely some earnings to be watching this week, guys. If you're in any of these plays long, like on option contracts, please be aware of these earnings that are approaching. If you don't want to play through earnings, you don't have to. Don't feel like you have to play through earnings. I mean, it's a very nasty, nasty situation sometimes when you play through earnings. It's not always, it's really not the smart thing to do. Sometimes you'll get it right and you'll make a lot of money. Sometimes, or most of the time, you're going to get it wrong. So that is what I would be watching. We'll go ahead and look at, if you guys stay tuned to the live streams, we'll definitely look at these guys in the morning of. So on Wednesday morning, guys, make sure to come to the live stream. Thursday morning, make sure to come to the live stream. We'll definitely go through these plays, these stocks, and see what we got there. So with that said, let's go ahead and start this off. Let's look at the Nasdaq, and let's go ahead and do some analysis. If you're here early, if you want, make sure to press that like button for me. That would really help me out, guys. So here we go. If you guys saw my video yesterday, this is an 8% drop. This is a 20% move. Here's your last 8% drop, the exact same drop. And here is your potentially 20% move to the upside. Now, I don't know if that happens. That is my current goal, is right here around 17,300 on the Nasdaq by early February. That is what I currently think may happen here. But, of course, things can change. Definitely things can change. So, Nasdaq looks great, right? We had a reversal pattern, 100 SMA. Beautiful hold here at previous lows. Look at this hold right here. Just a nice little break and retest. A nice little hold of previous support right there at 14.6. You guys know what's happened since. If you stay tuned to the channel, if you stay tuned to the live streams, you know we caught this thing beautifully. I mean, got a lot of hate for thinking it was the bottom, but it ended up being the bottom. So congratulations to anyone that was able to flip their bias here when we started to see very obvious bottoming formations. When you see that bottoming formation, sometimes you got to change your bias. You got to realize the technicals are saying that there are support coming in. Upside looks to be coming. And if anyone caught this thing, congratulations. This is a monster move here on the Nasdaq. So we're through all-time highs at this point, guys. All that we really need to do, all that we should be looking out for, is a hold of previous highs. That is exactly what we should be looking for. We're pretty well past that for now, but if we do fall back, you guys can see it's very clear. 15,007. That is where we had resistance multiple times last week, and you guys can see we were able to get through that on Friday. You can see previous resistance. It was previous resistance here. I would expect the Nasdaq to come back and test this as support. I would 100% expect that at some point in the near future. This is a classic little break and retest. This is a strong market. If we pull back and hold it, that is still a very strong market, guys. So if you see a pullback here, do not panic, please. I mean, it's literally a 1% pullback. Don't come on the stream telling me I'm an idiot. Don't go telling your friends the market's going to tank. Don't tell your parents the market's tanking. This is a normal pullback. If the Nasdaq pulls back 1% to previous highs to 15.7, this would be actually very healthy. If you get that pullback, you should be looking for opportunities back to the upside. This is a perfect break and retest of previous all-time highs, and this is exactly what the S&P has already done. So that is what I'd be looking at on the Nasdaq. Keep an eye on those previous highs, 15,700. If we look at the ES, this is exactly what the ES did, and you guys can see I'm not just making things up. It was a very bullish move. So you can see previous all-time highs on the ES right here, 45.50. The SPY pushed through it. It pulled back. it found support at the previous all-time highs, and look at the reaction to doing that. So if you get that pullback to all-time highs on the NASDAQ, you guys should be opportunistic. You should be looking for that bounce. Do not start panicking. This right here, pullback to previous highs, just like the ES has already done. Right here, pullback to previous highs. Look for that bounce off previous highs. Look for that opportunity. That is what I would be looking for. Well, yeah, welcome to Priority members, Mashroof. Welcome. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Welcome. Thank you for supporting the channel, sir. QQQ, if it does pull back, just look at the previous highs, guys. Just all you have to do is go to the chart. Look, 382, 383. So pull back to 383, right back to there, right? If you get that pullback, look for that bounce. So yeah, I'll go ahead and pull up the economic calendar just so we have that out of the way. So it looked pretty calm, the economic calendar for the most part, but I could have been wrong. So we got Federal Reserve statement on Wednesday. So yeah, Jerome Powell is gonna talk a little bit Wednesday. That could be one to keep in mind, definitely. We got our normal jobless claims, normal non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate. So yeah, Wednesday definitely a day to keep an eye out for, I would definitely say. So we'll keep an eye on that Wednesday. So that is what I'm looking at on the ES, and I'm looking at on the NASDAQ, guys. NASDAQ looking for that pullback to all-time highs. I'm not sure you're gonna get it, today or tomorrow. I don't know when it comes. We could just continue higher, but I think eventually you will see that pullback. ES looks great. On the ES, you probably want to see it hold these previous highs, right? So if we go to the hourly chart, you probably want to see it hold right here. This is that 45.90 level. That's these previous highs. It's not all-time highs. You guys can see, if I go back to the 4-hour, you can see the previous all-time highs are here at 45.50. These highs up here, 45.90. That was from the 26th and 27th. This is the 4-hour chart right now. Here's the hourly. Here's the hourly chart. You guys can see these previous highs here, 45.90, 45.90. If we get this pullback, you'd probably like to see it hold there. That would be a little bit more bullish if you see a hold here at 45.90. So that is what I would watch, 45.90 here on the ES. If that can hold, very nice. Even if it pulls back to previous all-time highs, probably still pretty bullish, even though if we get a pretty decent pullback there. As long as we're above those previous all-time highs, I would say market is still in a very bullish situation. So that's what I'd be watching. Hopefully the stream looks all right, guys. I'm getting an alert from YouTube that it's not, but usually it's not really legit when I see that. But let me know if the stream looks all right. Next, the Dow. So here's the Dow, guys. Previous all-time highs on the Dow. We can see it did something very similar to the ES. Not as clean, right? We did a little bit under previous all-time highs, but for the most part, we did exactly what we wanted to see. We pushed higher. We got a retest of previous all-time highs. It went a little bit deeper than you probably would want to see. You would have liked to probably see it hold at this line, but it really still just sort of moved down into some of this demand here, right? So push higher, pull back, hold at previous highs, and then a bounce higher, right? We did the exact same thing on the Dow. So some beautiful break and retest here on the market, break of previous all-time highs, pull back, hold it as support, and push higher. That is exactly what you want to see here in a bullish market, and that is exactly what we got. So we got that on the Dow, we got that on the ES, and all we want to see now is we want to see that exact same thing here on the NASDAQ. We should probably see this pullback at some point to this all-time high, and we definitely want to see it hold. So that is what I'd be looking out for, guys, on the futures. Keep an eye on that. All three definitely looking very, very bullish. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at there. Let's go ahead and move into, so we went over the earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and go into Tesla here, guys, the one that we are all getting a little bit anxious over this morning, right? So daily chart, not even worth looking at, really. I mean, daily chart's just an absolute monster. If we go to the weekly, we can do something. I mean, we can look at, so let's look at this. So real quick, just to quickly look at what could occur here, right? So we've gotten a few very nice flags on Tesla, right? And this is a much bigger one. We've had some really small ones, we've had some big ones, right? So you had a flag here, you had a flag here, and you had a massive flag here, right? So you had some decent pullbacks. And let's see what these breakouts are of these flags. So that's about 80%. This is about 115%. And I'm not really even sure where to grab this one from because it's a pretty messy flag. I mean, we're at 62%. If you take it from the lows, we're at about 100%. So I don't really know. I'm not quite sure. I'm not confident enough to give you guys that information to, and make you think that it could happen, right? Because I don't know if this is really that much of a reoccurring theme here to really use this as an analysis. But this has moved 80, 90%. Here's your about 80%. Here was about 120%. This one looks to be like it definitely can be continuing moving here, guys. And I would not doubt Tesla at all on this move. A lot of people like to doubt Tesla. A lot of people like to short Tesla, and they get their absolute you-know-what burn, man. And it's just not even worth it until this thing looks bad. Because right now, it does not look bad. Really strong move. Obviously, very crazy. Obviously, just something against we're not used to seeing this type of thing on the market, right? As traders, this is very uncomfortable for some because it's just straight up, just crazy. But that doesn't mean that it has to stop. It really doesn't, especially with a name like Tesla. So if we go to the hourly chart, we can see that it actually made an extremely nice move. I mean, it's pretty nice. Let's go to the 30-minute. It looks a little bit better there. So you guys can see we had this 1100 or this 10 or 1000 and this 1010 level mapped out from last week, right? We just said, okay, if we pull back to 1000, then maybe there's an opportunity. But we can see we pulled back pretty close, but really for the most part, we held this 1010 level. So you guys can see very nice hold to 1010 all week. Came up higher, pulled back, made a higher low, and since that point, guys, it's just a gradual, beautiful little hold here. I mean, look at it holding the 20 SMA, just a really nice hold, continuously making higher lows, higher highs, and once we got the breakout of the previous highs here, guys, I mean, it was just, it's just crazy. This is right at Friday's close, literally at Friday's close, right at the end of the week. And you can see after hours just going pretty strong. So, at this point, guys, I would be someone that's looking for a pullback at some point. So maybe back to Friday's close, I could definitely see Tesla giving up this pre-market move here. I could see it. Here's the pre-market, or here's the previous highs right around 1094, maybe even 1100. You look for, but if we go to the morning here. And we look at just this pre-market from Friday. Let's look at Friday and the pre-market here. So Friday's close was right around this 1110 area. I would probably be looking for a fill of this gap up. That's what I would personally want to look for. Maybe back to Friday's close, right around this 1114, 1115. If it does extend past that, I'd probably be looking for this 1100 even. Psychological number here. That's probably what I'd be looking for if we get a pullback. So 1100 on the pullback could be very nice, or a fill of this pre-market move, because guys, sometimes pre-market moves just aren't that strong. They look really good. I mean, Tesla definitely looks good here, but it definitely could move back down. A little bit of a washout this morning to around the pre-market or the Friday's close levels. If it does wash out, you could get a very nice washout long. I know some of you may know that strategy, the washout long. Washout long is quite nice if you can catch it right. If Tesla quickly washes out this morning, a little bit of a panic sell-off, pulls back to Friday's close, or even pulls back to 1100, if you can catch that thing off the bounce, it could be very, very nice. So this morning, I think you guys should target the Friday's close, fill the pre-market gap up, and then see if you can catch a bounce off of it. If we go to the daily chart, you're not going to be able to see it. Let me see what in the 4 hour. Yeah, you're not. It's hard to even see it on the gap on the chart, but you guys know what I'm referring to. Look at that Friday's close. Look to see if it can pull back to it. That could be a very nice little opportunity. So that's Tesla. I would definitely keep an eye on it today, guys. There's definitely more upside, potential for this stock. Nvidia, guys, another one that's just an absolute monster. Since it gapped up here, this was back on the 26th, big gap up. How do you make money off stock going down? You can trade put options if you want. You can short sell it. So nice move on Nvidia as well. You guys know I'm in these contracts. This thing has been just paying, every bill that I could possibly ask for the last month. I mean, it just goes up every day. So Nvidia, a beast. If we go to the 30-minute chart, you can see it. Look at how similar this move on Nvidia is to Tesla. You can see we moved up, we held this 244 level. Look how nicely we held this 244. Very nice, 244. Nice little consolidation. A little bit of a flag here, right? You guys can see right there, a little bit of a Nvidia flag. We talked about this on the live streams multiple times. We talked about the Nvidia flag, and you guys can see we got it perfectly. Beautiful flag breakout. Strong day Friday. Gap up this morning. So a very beautiful move here on Nvidia. If you guys see these flags here on your 30-minute hourly charts, then that would definitely be what you want to be looking for. Looks good. You could zoom in chart a little more. It's hard to see. I mean, there it's pretty apparent right there, guys. Nice little flag pattern. Over a 3-day period, flag push higher. Beautiful move on Nvidia. Today, I'd probably just be watching this 20 SMA in the 30-minute. It seems to be respecting it on this trend very well. So you guys can see 30-minute chart, 20 SMA. Every single time it's pulled back over the last 2 days, it's held it. So watch for that, and then also watch for Friday's highs. Friday's highs, if I go to the 5-minute chart, you guys can see. Let me zoom in. Here is Friday. Here are the highs of Friday. I would be watching that Friday high. You can see that Friday high is right where we found support here in the pre-market this morning. So 257, that would be what I'd be watching, guys, this morning. If we break 257, I would look for this pre-market and after-hour support here around 255s right here. All right, that would be my next level I'd be watching for support. And then you can just watch some of these intraday levels from Friday, right? And if you eventually will be able to probably catch a little bit of a bounce opportunity if we pull back to some of these previous levels. So 257, 255.70, watch those levels. I am long and very strong Nvidia here, guys. I've been in it since October 14th. I've been in a November contract for Nvidia, and it's a beautiful thing. So Nvidia, very strong today, guys. Another big time watch, in my opinion. Upstart. Daily chart. So, Upstart, I definitely think there's opportunity. I'm going to go to the 4 hour, guys. Sorry. Let me go to the 4 hour real quick. 4 hours shows the story a little bit better. So, let me delete these lines. We'll redo them real quick. Let me go ahead and put on the 200 SMA because that adds to this analysis here. So, 200 SMA. Let's add that on. All right. So, guys, Upstart. We can see that Upstart is starting to hold up slightly here, right? It's starting to consolidate. Now, where is that? Why is it holding up here? First of all, it's these previous highs here. It's this 316 area. Previous highs, which also, if I actually extend this line, it actually goes back to previous support here. Previous support, which rejected, came back up, acted as some resistance, and now it is acting as support again. So this level here is big. You guys can see it's holding very nicely. For the last week, it's been holding up at this level. 200 SMA, starting to hold this thing up as well, holding at the 200 SMA. And finally, if I zoom out, you guys can see a nice little uptrend here, right? So a nice little uptrend, 1, 2, and 3, holding on these levels. Nice hold there at those levels. You have the 200 SMA, You have the previous level here at 314. I think this is quite an interesting play. I mean, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to potentially get into it. I haven't found my entry yet, but maybe if we start to break out of this little flag, this little downtrend, that could be the entry. If we start to see this, we start to break out of this downtrend here on Upstart. So you guys know Upstart can be pretty crazy. Upstart could as easily do this as it does this, right? So that's why I'm concerned. I don't quite know if it breaks down from this level, because it definitely can. You can definitely get this breakdown. And if it does this, this whole analysis is done. It's invalidated. So you definitely don't want to see that. I've been waiting for a little bit more confirmation, waiting to see if we can get a push over this downtrend. If it does, I would definitely look to scale into this position to the upside. So I'm going to keep an eye on Upstart this week, guys. It's up slightly here in the pre-market, nothing too big, but I definitely will see if we can hold up this level, this 314, 315 level, and then push over this downtrend. That is what I'm looking at on Upstart. Next, Facebook. All right, Facebook here, guys. Daily chart. Yeah, I do have Lucid. It's on the schedule. Daily charts, a little bit choppy. We know that. It's nothing that clean, right? It's not too clean here for Facebook. However, I liked how we saw some of that positivity end of last week around the metaverse, and then we already did SPY. You have to go back to the beginning of this live stream. Metaverse, Lucid's already on there, guys. There you go. Lucid deliveries. Right there. LCID deliveries. It's on the schedule. All right. Facebook. Pullback from its highs. You guys can see it's about 20% from its highs, right? About $76 a share. Pretty big. Pretty big. $76 a share and a 20% pullback. In my opinion, if you see a 20% pullback on a big company like Facebook that's holding the 200 SMA, I definitely think there's opportunity. If you ignore some of the stuff that's going on, if you ignore some of the external factors that are going on, I don't care to know your opinion on the company. Don't go in the chat and talk about your opinion about Facebook. All I care about is making money, and all I care about is the technicals that I'm looking at. And at this point, I think the technicals are starting to try to hold up. I don't quite know for sure, but I think an opportunity could be brewing here for Facebook into end of year. This is not this week play. This is not a next week play. This is not 2 weeks out. This is 3 months, 4 months, 5 months out that I'm thinking could be a play here for Facebook. So keeping an eye on Facebook here. Obviously, there's going to be some levels that we need to break above. Here's the 4-hour chart. We can see there's definitely going to be some resistance above. So I'm going to turn off the 200 now. We can see there's going to be these highs that we're going to have to break right here around 344, 345, right in this area, right? We're going to need to break above that. That's going to be big. We're going to need to see that move. That move, I think, solidifies your bounce. So right here, 345, if you get that push over 345, maybe you retest. Maybe that gives you your nice little hold of nice little hold here at 320s and your push higher. So this 344, 345 level I think is key. That is what I'll be looking at here to see if we start to get that push above. Definitely rejected there off earnings last 2 weeks ago. That's where earnings were, where we started to fail. We rejected off that 340 on earnings, bounced lower. Let's see if this thing comes back. So Facebook, big opportunity in my opinion. I would be looking for a lot of time, January, February calls. That's what I'd be looking at. Shopify. So Shopify is a beast. First of all, let me put a disclaimer here. Shopify is not for the faint of heart, and it's not for the new trader. Shopify is a nasty beast with large spreads and very expensive option contracts that move like madmen. So please be careful on Shopify if you do trade this. But Shopify over this 1500 level, that is what you buy here. I am already in it, Dan. So I'm in a December contract on Facebook already. And I got in it before any of the meta news came out. So I'm up nicely on it already just because of that. But yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Dan, on a play like that, you gotta go in with money you're willing to lose, and you gotta go in with with the idea, the conviction. You gotta say, okay, I believe in Facebook here. I'm willing to put a little bit in to see if I can start it here, get a starter position. But you gotta accept the loss if it's wrong. You gotta accept the loss if it's wrong. So, I could be wrong here. I could totally be wrong, and I'll accept my loss if I am. But I want to be in it. I think there's opportunity. Yeah, I see you guys talking about Tesla. Yeah, nice little. That's good. That's good, guys. You want to see this. You want to see this on Tesla. Even if you're in it, you want to see it. Honestly, I know you probably don't if you're in it, but if you're not in it, you should be celebrating right now. If you are not in Facebook, you should be celebrating right now. I'm sorry, Tesla. This is exactly what you want to see. So, anyways, 1500 guys on Shop. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Here's the 4-hour chart. I believe if Shop gets over 15, this could make a very nice move. Now, Shopify, like I said, is crazy. You have this very tough resistance here at 1580s, even close to 1600. So I'd be careful up here. But there is a nice little opportunity here, I think, above 1500, up to around this 1580. So I would watch Shop. It had a crazy reaction off of earnings. Very nice move higher. So definitely watch Shopify, guys. If you're someone that likes to watch Shop, 1500 is the level that I would be looking at here. Lucid. So we all want to see Lucid. Lucid. That's the hot name right now, right? So daily chart. Let's quickly look at the daily because I always like to look at the daily first. So this is an interesting gap on the chart. I never really realized that. Let me go ahead and look at this real quick. So we had a gap. So what's the high of this candle? 44. So definitely watch this 44. See how it reacts here, guys. I'm not sure how it'll react, but if it does get to there, watch 44. The low of this candle is 50. So it had about a $10 gap down. So watch that area, this gap area here on Lucid. Just keep that on your charts. See, I don't quite know how it'll react there, but at least see if it does have any reaction if we get to that point. Now, the previous highs, we're going to have to break this down to like the 4-hour probably. Even the 4-hour is pretty nasty. Go to the hourly. Yeah, here's the hourly. All right, so here's the hourly. And hold on one second. All right, so here's the hourly, right? The high of this candle is 4160. So 4160. I'd watch that. So today, guys, you're going to want to see this 20 SMA, I think, hold on the hourly chart. You can see how it respected this pretty well. Moved higher, started to hold this 20 SMA, starting to hold up slightly, this little uptrend. You guys can see right here, a little bit of an uptrend, starting to hold here. So if we get a pullback, it's right to that 20 SMA, it's right to that uptrend. So you're going to want to see that hold. That's back at Friday's close, right? That's right around 37. So 37, if we go to the 15-minute chart, you guys can see that's Friday's close. That would be right around where you meet this uptrend. So if we do get a pullback, you definitely want to see this uptrend hold, this 37 hold, 37.50s. That's a big level if we get that pullback. So 37.50s to the downside. To the upside, you're just going to want to see, I mean, you're starting to find some resistance here again at this 49.50 or this 40 level, right? So this $40 psychological looks pretty tough. It's finding rejection there multiple times. So 40 and then 41.60. Those are the two levels I'd watch to the upside. To the downside, you definitely want to see this hold right here at 37.50. That's the uptrend. That is also the 20 SMA on the hourly chart. That is right here. You guys can see where it intersects. So right there on Lucid, guys, 37.50. Watch that to the downside. To the upside, you need to get above 40. Twilio. So an interesting opportunity on Twilio, guys. Here is the 4-hour chart. You guys can see this was a pretty nasty drop. And the last time it dropped, it created a very nice opportunity, right? So the last time Twilio dropped, it dropped down to these 310s. You guys can see previous support here. Support, Support. Very nice bounce off the 310. Now, we got to break down below, but look where it's holding, guys. 277. Look how nice this little hold here. Previous lows. I'd be watching this 277. If you play this here, you need to be aware of the resistance that will come in at 310. This will most definitely find resistance at 310 right here, right? So 310, I would definitely expect there to be some resistance at that level if we push back into it. However, that's still about 10 points higher. So there could be an opportunity here to 310. After 310, if you do break through there, I think there's a lot of upside here. So I would keep an eye on Twilio. This is a pretty nasty drop. I know it's not the greatest chart. It's pretty sideways, which I don't love to trade. But when I see big gap downs like this, there's definitely some opportunity to be had. You can see the last time we pushed down into this two. See if you start to see some strength here. See if you can try to get this gap fill. This could be a very nice opportunity. So that's Twilio. That's something I would definitely be watching. Oh, the stream okay? The stream is really messing with me. Keeps on saying it's loading. Something's messed up on my end. Hopefully it's okay on your guys' end. On my end, it says it's got the loading circle. So hopefully it's okay. It skipped for a second. Yeah, I gotta figure out something with the. I gotta figure out something on my end. It says it has a few dropped frames. Yeah. All right. Well, for the most part, we're all right. All right. So Twilio, nice move, potential. All right. So now I want to go over some of the stocks that you guys want to look at. Let's quickly run through some pre-market moves. Let's just like skim through some stuff here together. So Microsoft, how are we doing? Microsoft, not bad. Facebook, giving up a little bit. That's fine. What's Nvidia doing? All right, Nvidia giving up some move as well. So we're giving up some of these moves this morning, which is actually not a bad thing. Twilio, decent morning. What else? Coin. Pretty nice morning on Coin here, guys. Amazon up about 7 points. That could be interesting. Goldman Sachs up about 2 points this morning. Lulu's been crazy strong. Crazy strong for Lulu. Upstart, slightly higher. So we got some nice moves. We got some decent moves this morning. But if we start to see those pullbacks, it's not really that bad of a thing, guys. I mean, you want to see those pullbacks, right? All right, so we got a lot of names here on the member Google Doc. So let's go ahead and start running through those. So number one, we got CrowdStrike. What's it moving down off this morning? Downgrade. So we got a downgrade on CrowdStrike this morning. You're getting a little bit of a move lower. Where is it moving down to? I would look for CrowdStrike right here, guys. Look for CrowdStrike at these previous highs, 260, 68, 270. Look for that 270 on CrowdStrike. That's what I'd look for. If you get down to 270, I'm actually going to put an alert there, to be quite honest. 270, create alert. At or below 269. So I want to know if CrowdStrike comes down to that, I'm looking for it because that's a nice little break and retest there. That could potentially hold at these previous highs. So 270 is where I'd look for CrowdStrike to come back to. Netflix, just an absolute monster. Netflix has been an insane stock. We saw this flag last week. If you guys are part of the live streams, if you come here, if you come here on a daily basis, you know we talked about this live stream here. We talked about this flag pattern on the live stream. I mean, we basically walked through this entire thing. It was Nvidia and it was Netflix, the two flag patterns that were forming. Beautiful, beautiful flags. Congratulations. I took a trade on Netflix. I closed it for a $100 profit, and I should not have closed it. I had a very bad mental mistake on Friday. And I'll go ahead and run you through my mental mistake on Friday. So it was Friday, right? This is Friday's open. I did not want to sit at my computer all day. That was the first problem I had. I had a time limit on my day, which is sometimes not good. Sometimes it is good. Some of you guys like to do that if you're scalpers. I like to watch the market. So I was rushing out of the day of the market, and I was babysitting a short expiration Netflix play that I should have took more time on. I was up nicely. I got we got this push higher, got this pullback. I held it here because I saw, okay, this is a pullback of previous highs. So let me zoom in. I'll actually just go ahead and pull up real quick. I got to do this quick because we're running out of time. So here it is, guys, here on the Discord chat. Netflix, 1029, 675 call for 350. I took it right here in the morning, right here around 9:40, 9:50. So I took it there in the morning, and that one ended up being up a few $1,000s at the end of the day. However, I closed that for $150 profit. I closed it right here because I was impatient and I didn't want to sit in front of the computer all day. And it was right around the time, right around 12 o'clock where I was, I usually head out. And I made a mistake. I should have been, and even the people in the chat, some people in the chat said, hey, this still looks good. It's a nice break and retest. And I said, you're right, it does. But I made a mental mistake. And I didn't hold it because I just didn't want to babysit this position all day. Because I was nervous a little bit. I don't like to trade short expirations. I can lose a lot of money really quickly. So if I would have took the traditional time that I usually do, I would have definitely held. But with the short expiration, I was up a few $100. It was a nice little profit for a Friday afternoon, and I took it. And that was my mistake because you can see it held up perfectly. It held previous highs absolutely perfectly. You can see beautiful previous highs into support. And you can see what happened after that. I mean, the rest is history. That is another 1.5% to the upside. The contracts were worth almost $1,000 more at end of day. So it's a mental mistake, but I got to live with that. I got to learn from it. But I know what I did wrong, and that is all that I can do. And that's all I can. I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm not going to let it affect my trading. I know it was a mental mistake. Sometimes I guess I am human, right? Matt Marcus, patient. Yeah, very patient. Patience. P-A-Y. Patience. P-A-Y. You get paid if you are patient. But Netflix, I would just continue to watch this thing. It's not really presenting you many levels to watch because it's just a really strong trend. If you miss this flag pattern, you're probably going to want to see it pull back at this point. If it does pull back to these previous highs. Do the exact same thing all over again. That's all it's been doing. It moves higher, it pulls back, it flags, and it breaks out again. So 676. Hood. I personally wouldn't be someone that's trading Hood here. The chart looks terrible. Maybe it holds up here at 34s. You guys can see this little support level at 34. But if it doesn't, I would want to see it start to push before I get into it, right? Hans, you gotta watch technical levels. That's all you gotta do. So for an example on Netflix, on a normal day, if I wasn't, if it was a normal day, I would have held Netflix, right? And you guys know that's how I sort of have been trading lately. Something went wrong in my head, but that happens. However, Hans, this is a good example. If you got into Netflix here, I would have never gotten out of it as long as it showed higher lows, higher highs, never, broke down. So Netflix, from this point forward, guys, around 10:30 forward, it never showed a reason to sell until you had to get out if you had short expiration. So my recommendation to anyone out there that sells too early, watch technical levels. Only sell if technical levels break down. So Microsoft. Microsoft's another example, right? So Microsoft did this little double bottom again on Friday. You guys can see double bottom. If you got in on that double bottom, the only time I would have even considered getting out was maybe on this lower low here, but this held up pretty nicely. You can see this nice consolidation, nice hold. So, use technical levels. Don't use your P&L as a way to get out. If you're, if you're up a nice P&L, if you're up a nice amount, I would not trade and not sell your positions based on how much money you've made. I would stick to What does the chart look like? Is it showing me downside? Is it showing me weakness? If it's not, I want to hold it. If it's showing me that it's holding an uptrend, holding higher lows, holding a consolidation, I like to stay in plays like that. I don't let my P&L choose when I get out of a position. I'm okay giving some back as well if the stock still looks good. So that is how I would look at it, Hans. Just look at technical levels. Make sure to have a plan coming in. Make sure to have, if it gets below this level, I'm taking my loss. As long as it holds above this level, then I'm going to continue to hold. And make sure to be sort of moving that up over time. If the trade starts to work for you, let's say, you're getting above certain levels. You say, okay, now here's my stop. Here's where I want it to stay above. As long as it stays above, don't touch anything. Don't sell it because you have, $1,000 profit. If the technicals still look good, then, continue to hold it. I mean, that's all you can really do. That's how I think a lot of people will try to squeak some more profits out of certain moves. Because in my opinion, guys, if you got in, let's say you caught this little, for example, guys, let's take Microsoft for an example, because we're going to have to probably skip some of these, we're probably going to have to skip some of these tickers here because we're going to run out of time here. However, we can just quickly look at this. Let's go to Friday. So if you got into Microsoft on Friday at this double bottom, right? Hold on, let me get this set up for you guys here. If you got into Microsoft here at this double bottom intraday, right? You had previous highs, it turned into a double bottom right here. I know some of you actually took this in the Discord chat. If you got in here on this double bottom, you at no point would have been negative on this position, right? So you hold it, it's still holding. Let's say you want to see it hold these previous lows next. So you can see we move higher, it moves down, you hold these previous lows. Let's say you're here, you're starting to see this pull back, starting to get a little bit of a concern. Okay, take a second. Okay, let me give this the previous levels. Let me see if it holds that level. And then maybe I'll jump out. So you see it pulls back to these previous levels, starts to consolidate. You say, okay, let me relax. As long as it holds this consolidation, then I'm going to hold it. Starts to push higher. At this point, then you're not even touching this. You're not even thinking about selling because it just continues to make higher lows, higher highs. It's hard to say in hindsight, guys, because everything's going to be emotional, right, during the time. Just try to use technical levels. Try to take your emotions out of it. Don't look at your P&L to sell. As long as the technicals are holding up, if there's no breakdowns of previous support, no lower lows, lower highs, then let these things ride out a little bit. And the other thing I would say is scale down. If you're crazy, if you're leveraged to the max, and you're nervous and you get in a position and you're starting to freak out already because I can't let this thing drop a few cents because I'll lose $1,000. You need to scale down. You need to relax and you need to take smaller positions. If you take smaller positions, you have more confidence, you have less stress, and you'll be able to hold positions longer. So try to scale down. If you see yourself, you got to be cognizant. It's a hard word to say for me. You got to understand what your problems are, right? If you start to see yourself scaling out too fast, if you start to get nervous, if you're emotional in trades, guys, you need to listen to that. You can't just ignore it and continue to do what you're doing. Scale down and take calmer trades. All right. I'm going to do one more, and that's going to be it, guys. Sorry that we went on a little bit of a talking spree there, but you know what? It is what it is. Tomorrow's a new day, right? So PayPal, I want to show you real quick. I would be looking for 225 on PayPal. I'm not sure I'm confident on PayPal until I see 225, because this is just a nasty, nasty blood fest here. This is gross for PayPal. So I want to see 225 come in, and then I want to start to see that bounce. You can see that's the previous support here. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. If you did, please give it a like. We're only at 200 likes. That's weak. I'd appreciate if you could press that like button for me if you enjoyed today's stream. It's Monday. as usual on Mondays, guys, I like to give the market some time. I like to see what's happening, what's going on, get a feel for the market, and then strike on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. So Monday, I'm usually a little bit calm. Let the market work out, see what's going on, and then I like to maybe make some positions Tuesday, Wednesday. So let's see what happens today. Let's be relaxed. Let's not force ourselves into anything. Let's see what this market wants to do, and yeah. So hope you guys have a great day. If you want, subscribe to the channel. Press the like button. If you want to join the Discord chat, it's the first link down below. You can come hang out with us in the chat. That's where I'm about to head over to right now. So Lucid, I did already in the stream. You have to go back to the stream and find it. Do you karate chop your pillows yourself? No, that is my girl that does that. But I sometimes do it. Little karate chop. So maybe when I lose money, I karate chop the shit out of it. All right, guys. Have a great day, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.